Welcome everybody, Mark here from Mark Builds Bricks. We have another brand new Pantasy modular building for 25. This is the Opera or the Opera House, set number 85019. We are going to do this review stage by stage of the build, look at every detail, nook and cranny as we go through this whole build. This was fantastic. I'll just let you know right now, this was a fantastic build. Like, comment, and subscribe. Sit back, relax, and let's jump into the review. Right, let's talk about the manuals that came with this awesome set. You already can see damage. Damage here, damage bent here, bent here, bent here. Bent some of the pages in that corner. This booklet was jam-packed at the bottom of the box, curved between all the bags and stuff like that. So it looks like this book one was like a last minute throw in, because look at book two. Book two is nice and crisp, like other than a little damage on the back here, but all in all, great. So I'll try to flatten it while we talk about it, but here it is. This is a fantastic photo of the new modular building, the Opera. As well, you can see clearly the new minifigs that Pantasy has done. Again, we do have a video on comparing the new minifigs with some of the other minifigs from other companies, so by all means, go check that out. Nice little logo at the top corner, the Opera with the set number 85019. Pantasy logo at this corner here, as well as we have a nice little graphic for book one in that corner. And I will slowly try to get through this real quickly. Adults welcome. That's pretty much what it says in all their books. This is pretty standard. And then this is basically it. So basically bags 1 to 6 is everything on the main floor. Bags 7 to 16 is the second floor, which by the way is the bulk of your build for this. Even though the first floor has lots of detail, but you're going to spend most of your time building in this section. And the final last bag is this beautiful dome on top of the roof with an interesting chandelier put in place. Everything throughout this is pretty straightforward, other than there was a couple spots where the color choices for the pieces in the manual did not match the pieces that you needed to use, but pretty easy to figure out. Yeah, especially when like the building has a nice little gold trim in certain areas. At one stage building the second floor, the pieces are actually shown in the instruction book like white, but it's actually those gold pieces. So if you're trying to figure out where those white pieces are on that picture or that stage, you're all good. Just use the little gold 1x4s and you should be good. But that's the bulk of everything for that booklet. Like as I said, here's the clean, almost undamaged booklet. Very nice looking. Again, open it up. It basically says 1 to 6. Like as I said, does everything on the first floor. 7 to 16, second floor, and 17 is the roof. But basically continues on from stage 10 for this part of the book. And you could just basically continue through and start building all the fun details that go inside the second floor of this fantastic modular going through. Some beautiful printed pieces, the minifigs. I actually built these early and did it, like as I said, I did a video comparison on them, but basically it's up to you if you want to jump towards page 96 to build the minifigures right away if you wish. It's up to you, but they also show certain areas where you can place them and stuff like that. There's also a cardboard card with 2 images, one on each side, that you can slide in for a backdrop on the stage and stuff like that, which hides all the behind the stage, backstage stuff. So it's pretty cool that's there. You can actually make your own card and print whatever scene you wish in the back if you want. So yeah, then at the back of the book, you get a nice image of the final build, which looks absolutely great. And again, we do have some other sets that Pantasy does. This food truck, I have it in my backlog. I really need to build this. I really like this one, so I really need to build this one still. What else do we have here? The steampunk watchtower is actually pretty cool. I don't have that one, but it's a cool build from what I've been told. I do have the train steampunk station. That one a little fragile. So be very careful how you handle this one and display this one, because it is a fragile build. And so yeah, so there you have it. Those are the 2 manuals, and let's keep going. All right, let's talk minifigures right now. So these are the brand new Pantasy minifigures that they came up with. So this is their, in theory, original design and how possibly future minifigs are going to be for their sets coming forward. Pros and cons to these. I did make a video for the description of these, so if you definitely want to check it out, be a link in the description to check out that video. But yeah, so each figure does come with a set of legs for standing, with a couple of little stud holes to connect into the studs, and you do get an extra set of legs that in a seating position. Now, when you're using the legs for the seating position, depending on where you're sitting them, if you're sitting them on a plate like this, I recommend putting an extra stud in their butt, just because you will not be able to get them in the middle of a plate. It just would not fit in nicely. So either use a transparent clear piece or a rounded transparent piece would probably be best recommended. But that will help you sit them in a nice little spot, especially if it's in the middle of a plate or if it's got some other stuff around it where you can't get it on the stud correctly. But all in all, this is their faces and everything in place. So let's take a closer look at these. Here you have it. We have a gentleman and a lady here. Awesome printing. Lots of detail that can be done on their faces. They got that little Funko type pop type scenario going on, but very cool, very cool. Arms are great. When the arms are fully up, they're not smacking themselves or crossing their arms or anything like that. I think funwhole, aka LesDiy, you should borrow the arms from these guys and put them in your figures. The dress looks good. We got some side printing on the arm as well. Now her hair is not flexible in any way, shape, or form. So when you do have her in a seating position, hopefully there's enough clearing for her to have the longest part of her hair and whatever you're connecting her to sit down in, so you're not popping her hair off or she's just not going to fit in place. And you may put the stud in her butt to hold her in the spot. Now here are the other three, another two gentlemen and another young lady. Great printing on them as well. Like as I said, very excellent printing. All the faces, or at least all the eyes, all the pupils are all pointed the same direction. They're all looking up to the left. Yeah. Well, if they're facing you, yeah, they might be looking up to the other side. But yeah, so you've got different types of eye colors, as you can see on them. Pretty cool with the facial printing. Their heads, if I pop this guy's hat off, is like that. It's not a full complete round head or anything like that. It's basically 3/4 of a head and then sliced off with a stud and popping up the pop in. So yeah, so like as I said, since their heads are fairly big, makes them interesting to put them in vehicles side by side, and especially if you're using vehicles at a certain scale for a normal minifigure to go in, these may not work for that. There's certain areas in the opera house itself where I'm pretty sure we cannot put them in, just because it's just too narrow and they just won't fit. But in the montage later in this video, you'll see the minifigs displayed in the opera house. But those are the brand new Pantasy figures. And again, you can check out my video that's basically compares these to the other minifigures that are out there and stuff. Let's get into the full review. All right, so here we have the opera from Pantasy. This is all the bags one completed, mostly tiling and setting up basically the floor plan on how everything's going to go. I believe we have the street here. We have a nice little entryway, and we are going to have a lot of stuff happening in this little footprint that we have here. It's looking good so far. Like as I said, lots of tiling in this stage of the game. And yeah, we got lots to build in this one. We got lots to build. So yeah, hang in there. Let's jump into the next stage. All right, bags 2 completed. We have walls. Look at this. We've got some walls and we have printed pieces already into the build. The bottom layer of brick along the walls has a nice little decorative print on all those pieces, as you can see around the wall. So that looks pretty cool. We do have some windows already in the back of the back wall. We also have a nice portrait printed piece in the middle, which is also nicely framed with some gold pieces and stuff like that. And we have some interesting architecture pillars on either side of it that kind of blend into the wall as well. Looks pretty good so far. gives it that opera grand feeling inside as we go through. But basically, this is the footprint of the whole building. So we have a lot of stuff that's going to get crammed into here. So there's going to be lots of detail, which is going to be very, very interesting when we build all that. The back of the wall, as you can see with the windows, so you can actually see in and stuff like that. So we'll see what kind of obstructions or anything like that block the windows and going in and stuff like that. Again, Pantasy doesn't use any lighting kits and stuff like that, so would it be interesting to have a lighting kit in this? But we'll talk about that later in the review. But so far, nice tiling as well from the previous stage, and it's basically these three walls and the portrait basically that we put in place so far. Whew, we got lots to go. So let's keep going. Okay, another stage done. Bags 3 completed. And we're starting with the detail. Like I said before, this is going to have a lot of detail crammed into this footprint of a build. So we were basically working on all the architecture design and the main 3 paintings or portraits that are on the wall. So as you can see in the back wall, we've got some flowers. We got a nice little chained off area as well to, don't touch the giant white face. And then we have the lovely portrait in the background as well. On this side, we have another portrait, nicely decorated now with a nice framework around it with columns and stuff like that. And as well, columns that tie into the wall very nicely to secure everything in place. And on this side, this gentleman in this one also has some nice columns and stuff that wrap around the portrait as well, but it's got some extra barrier or some places here also built up as well. Both have like little transparent like candles on both sides to give the illumination effect and stuff like that. Now, this would be really cool if there was wires, but it would take a little bit longer to build to get all the wire management in and stuff like that for lights. But other than that, there's just so much detail going on right here. So much detail. And we have a long way to go. There's 17 sets of bags. We are going into stage 4 next. So let's do this. All right, here we have bags 4, stage 4 completed. Basically, the bulk of this part of the build is the stairwells. Now look at those 2 stairwells. A very interesting design as well. It basically does the Technic axle is just holding most of the stairs to give that nice curved look. I love the red and black and gold as well. This is very reminds me of those, the actual opera houses and stuff like that, or theaters where you watch plays and stuff like that. Not movie theaters, but theaters where you actually watch people on stage and stuff like that. They have a lot of this type of luxury, or the look of that luxury with the red and the black and the gold and stuff like that throughout the theater and stuff like that. This looks great. Like it is looking great. It is so much being packed into this little area and stuff like that. Yeah. So far the build is super smooth. There's been no real issues of anything. All the pieces absolutely fit great because they're using gobricks. So absolutely great. I do have a couple of little things about the manual just because in the last 2 stages, it did show pieces already pre-connected in, but it didn't really tell you, hey, you should put these there. You got to really pay attention that, hey, they snuck in a 1x2 in this area. Make sure you get that in there. Other than that, yeah, this was a fantastic for the stairs. This is looking really great. Bags 5 completed, stage 5 completed of this opera build, and holy crap, there is so much going on this ground floor. Let's get into this. We're going to use the other camera for this one. You got to see. Look at all that detail in there. It is insane. We've got portraits on the wall. We've got stairwells. We got candlesticks on big pedestals and stuff like that. We got a ton of stuff going on in here. As you can see, as we go around the walls and everything, it is just insane how much detail is going to be in this. We got portraits there. We got printed pieces, as you can see there. There's the opening with the 2 printed plaques, as well as we go around to the other side here. We have another big portrait type painting on the wall, again, print. I'm seeing some other reviews of this build, and there are big statues in front of the two main portraits on the walls on each side. Not too sure if that's a good idea or not, because you don't see the actual portrait and stuff. So we're going to leave them in there for that time being and stuff like that. But check out all the candlesticks and stuff like that. We've got flowers in there. We got chains to guard off people so they don't go near the artwork and stuff like that. Grand staircase, the wickedly tiled area. And coming to the front, we built up the windows. One note, this window right here, what I'm pointing at, we have a missing piece. This is the first missing piece so far in this set. I checked all the other bags that I've got on the floor. We are missing a printed transparent window piece in that section. Other than that, absolutely awesome. Awesome. There's so much going on in this, and it is such a great build. Really can't complain about it. So guess what we got to do? We got to get to the next stage and see what else we're building into this. All right, bag 6 completed, and it was the bulk of the front facade of this building. As you can see, we have a rotating door to go in and out. Just bear in mind, it does get caught on some of the tiles, so just be wary of which direction you wish to turn it, or try to get your finger in and start pushing some of the tiles down a little bit more so that it does turn smoothly. But basically, there it is. That is the front of the building itself. They'll get the focus in. There we go. We've got some nice lampposts on either side. We got some major columns to basically surround the doorway. We have a couple of printed posters hanging as well. Behind it, we do have some gears and stuff like that to get some more detailed around the bottom of the windows that are in the back there. But basically, yeah, this stage is basically just the front of the building and solidifying and then making it nice and structured, safe and stuff like that in the front. But yeah, so far it's looking really good. I do like the white, the off pink color. The black does pop out. The red really pops out as well with the black and the gold. We're getting close to almost finishing this first floor. As you can see, there is so much detail on this first floor, but it's such a great build. I fully am enjoying this build, so let's keep going. All right, so here we have bag 7 completed. It is basically the start of the second floor of the Opera modular building. This is basically the front facade, so everything that we've done so far is the front of the building. We got some nice columns, as you can see. We have some printed transparent windows. We got lots of gold fixtures mixed in with the white to give it that uniqueness as well. There's a few little gears as well to give some character to the window ledges as well. We do have these big areas here, so it'll be interesting of what we're going to be putting in these two open areas as we build through. But that is the beginning of the second floor as we build through. It's a little wobbly in this section here until we start getting the plates put into here to hold everything in place. But once that is done, it's going to be really secure front as well. Yeah, so far so good. And let's continue on and see how this second floor is going to end up looking like. All right, so we jumped ahead in the build. We did 2 stages before we got to this state of the second floor. Look at it all. This is all the front facade, basically. We got a nice little printed piece of the opera and all this nice little gold detail around all the windows as well. We do have some printed transparent window pieces here. Looking good. We do have gears. You know, I'm a fan. When I see gears, I want to see something moving. But in this case, these are decorative gears. They don't do anything on the front facade. Now, we did build part of the actual floor in the back here of the second floor. This is where the 2 stairwells will be coming up on either side. Let me just turn it this way so you have a better view of that. So yeah, both stairwells will come up here. Hence, this is where the stairs are going to tie into place very nicely. Here we have another nice little wall with some columns and stuff to give it some architectural design in the wall itself. And then you got little walkway, and then you have a nice little stairwell basically coming up to this balcony area, which looks like it's going to probably be one of the extra seating areas as well. Also, we do have in the back here a couple little costumes hanging up on the bars there, as well as we do have some candlesticks lights on either side in that area. Mental note for these candlesticks: don't push the middle piece right to the set. Make sure it's sticking out a little bit so the clip can grab it. I did a mistake and I had to pull them back out. So very easy. Just make sure you get enough room for the clip to put in place and you should be good. So there you have it. Stage 8 and 9. We're jumping into the next phase of this build. Stage 10, bags 10 completed of this build. It still looks the same. Nope, we've got more walls built. Basically, it's this whole wall and this back wall portion as well as what you build in this stage. Lots of detail of all the gold, and we have little dangly things as well. So if I shake it, as you can see, you can probably hear it too on the microphone, but yeah, we got dangly things on here. And we do have a nice little throne. Excuse me. We have a nice little throne piece right here where one of the minifigs will actually sit. Also, the wall does open right up, and we have a printed piece right beside the chair and a printed piece right underneath as well. So another nice little portrait with great detail and decoration on there. And of course, another print basically right on the wall itself. So very interesting. So you have a nice little stairwell that comes up, and then the minifig can actually get into the chair itself. But to make it easy to see the inside, the back is going to open up like that. So it gives you full access view of everything in this area. So pretty cool. I like that they did this. We have a nice little handle here as well on the back to open it up and close it as well. The other side, as you can see on the back of the wall we just finished building, we do have the inlet and some column pieces of that to give some nice little architecture detail to the wall. And as well on the ground floor, we have 3 sets of windows put in place with nice little arches and stuff like that. So it gives a nice little detail on that side. Now, depending on where you set this up, if you put it in your city, you may not see this because you might have it flush against another building, depending on which side you put, or if you got a building on each side. But yeah, so lots of cool detail. It is looking really good. And again, this is the second floor. So look how big this is just for the second floor. And again, it's an opera house, basically. So it's supposed to have a grand opera area and stuff like that. So this is going to look really, really good getting into the next stage. And speaking of the next stage, let's jump into it. All right, so another stage done. We are finished with bags 11, which basically it works more in this area of the build itself. We basically build this nice little kind of like a sitting room type scenario with a couple of seats in there, lots of gold with decorations around it as well as pinning this plate system also in place to hold it all in place. I do say that building this, there's a little bit of a fragile part to it, so be very careful when you're pushing pieces in and stuff like that. Pieces may get loose or fall off and stuff like that. So I'm glad that we got this put in place to make it nice and solid. All in all, it's looking really, really good. It does, like as I said, it does open up nicely. It keeps the nice feel of the flow of the colors and tones and everything like that to make it look like it's got like a luxury opera house type scenario. But it's looking really, really good. We did dress up a bit of the bottom column as well to get a little bit more architecture style around the entrance or this area as well. So that is pretty cool. But that is the gist of this stage of the build. It's mostly getting this all built up and solidifying this into place so it's nice and solid. We're very impressed. I'm still very impressed on this build. Like, as I said, it's going together nice and smooth and stuff like that. It's a little fragile when building this, but once you get it in place, you should be golden. But just be prepared for some small pieces to pop off left, right, and center when you're putting this together. Okay, so we have completed bags 12, stage 12 of the build, and more interior goodness has started. Let me just turn this around. We have this stage front section completed basically. As well, we do have a full sitting area for everybody to watch the stage itself. Lots of detail, lots of good contrast between the blacks, reds, and the golds, as well as all the green carpet tiling basically around the seating area. There's so much going on, so much detail in this set, and I'm so happy that Pantasy went with back wall that's going to open up. So there's basically both sides of the wall will nicely open up so you can see all this great detail on the second floor. But that's the basic of the build itself for this stage. Is the stage basically dressing the stage all up and getting the seating arrangement all set in place. We are getting close, going into the next section, which is bags 13. Stage 13. Here we have a small little dressing room that we built off to the stage. So we do have an opening in this area, as well as we have our walls that separate the main opera area as versus the backstage area type scenario. And this is the entrance in and out of the main area itself. So there is another small wall that does open up here, so you can actually see, and give me a second, I will actually lift this up. So here you have a small little dressing room. As you can see, there's an actual closed door that actually opens into the main seating area. And then we have an open door on the far right there that leads to behind the stage. So there is a small little dressing room that we built in this stage, and a bracing up the main wall as well. That puts everything in nice and secure for this area. And of course, we have our little open and close wall feature on this side as well. So we are getting close, as you can see. We got to finish up this balcony area, my guess is, and then we got to finish off the main wall and then the back door that opens up in the back. And then, wow, the second floor is completed. And then we just have the roof, and then we put all the pieces back together. And then we see this absolute beauty of a opera house together. And we're getting close. So hang in there. We're almost done. All right, we made it. Stage 16, bag 16, very quick section of the build. It was basically building up this wall, as well building all the tile here for the floor for this section to get into this little throne room type scenario. We do have a nice little ladder that climbs up to probably the roof itself. If we turn in like this, you can see some of the nice decoration as well with the, again, red and gold, lots of dark red and gold throughout the whole thing. As well, we built the bottom door on this side as well. So this is completed. So this side, we've actually got this part of the door, which again there's two printed murals in this section as well. Kind of hard to see at the moment, but there's one right here on the door where my finger is, and there's one underneath right there. So two printed murals as well. So door closes up. Basically, it's going to open up the whole back so you can actually see the grandness of the opera in its full glory when it's all completed. But basically, all this section is what we built so far in this stage of the game. So we're getting there. Apparently, there's 17 sets of bags. We're going into 15. So we are almost in the home stretch for this build. And again, both floors, the first floor and this second floor, so much detail to build. But the bulk of the build looks like it's all in the second floor as we build this. So let's get into this. We're getting into the home stretch. Okay, here we have bags 15 completed. Now, the reason why I'm showing the back of the set is we finished the other side of the wall that opens up. So now, as you can see, it opens up nicely and you get the full view of everything that's in there. So everything that we built is, I'm going to turn it this way, it's going to be on this side of the camera here, over on this side. Another throne basically built up here, a little flower pot on a stand, building this section in the back here, as well as solidifying or making the wall nice and solid. Now, just like the other hallway on this side, as you can see where my finger's pointing, we do have, let me just turn that, all right, let's just pop that off. We had that pointing the wrong way, my bad. We can fix that real quick. Pop that into place. Done. All right, so just like this hallway on this side, this hallway over here, very, very, very narrow, as you can see. I don't even think a normal minifigure is going to fit in there. If so, yeah. And the new minifigures, I don't. If they're gonna get wedged in there. But we'll talk about that a little later. Anyways, we plated everything off there as we got a few studs on the top here, which is basically where the roof is going to fit in place. Because basically we're almost finished. We got 2 more sets of bags, and this is going to be completed, and then we can assemble everything together. Really, really, really cool. A really cool build. I really do like it. We still have this little opening on this side as well, as you can see here. So it's a nice little access point there. So there you have it. Let's jump into it. We may skip bag 16 depending on what we build and stuff like that. I may just jump and just build the last of it, and then we'll do a final review of it. We'll see. Stay tuned. Second last stage of this build, bag 16, mostly to dress up the rest of the front of the building, getting the rest of the facade, some of the statues, some of the decorations and everything to kind of finalize everything in the front. So this whole triangular piece at the top here with the little awning roof as well. Nicely done. More gold and some technique in place to make it look absolutely interesting in architecture design. We have 2, I'm going to call them gargoyles, or because normally on the old buildings and stuff like that, you usually have some type of statuette gargoyles or something like that. So you have 2 statues on each side of these, like, so these are like little mini builds, and then they're little pedestals and stuff like that, which has golden croissants, by the way, for decoration. Golden croissant, you heard that right. And then we have, I wish this gear in the middle was gold or silver, like our chrome. That would have been nice. Instead of just using this flat yellowish, tannish, diluted, whatever color. This would have been great as either a chrome piece or keep it gold or white, you know, or put it white as well. Because we have white gears right here, right? So those I would have preferred in white. But then again, we finish off the front here. We've got 2 big long printed posters, one of the Queen and one of the Phantom Opera. So the 2, I guess, main stage plays for the opera and stuff like that. Flags, more decoration. That is the bulk of this stage. It's pretty much everything in the front. And again, this is only the second floor. I still have to attach it to the first floor. So you can see the size of what this is going to be when this is completed. So there you have it. We're going to jump in. We got 1 more stage of building, and then we'll put everything together, and then we'll give my final thoughts and some interesting looks at this awesome opera. Everything completely done for this brand new Pantasy the Opera. Fantastic modular. Very, very fantastic modular. It has got so much detail, as you can see, and it has a nice dome sunroof with a nice little chandelier inside of it. The roof does pop off. The second floor does pop off. And of course, you've got the main floor on the bottom. But let's just take a look at the front of this. Holy smokes, there's so much detail going on there. Let me just give you a full look at all that gold and white and black, and we got red. We got some this kind of like greenish teal kind of effect as well. We got some printed pieces for the opera. We got printed banners for the types of operas that are in there, like the Queen and the Phantom. And down near the bottom, we also have a couple more banners in the back as well for those front windows. One missing piece out of this whole build, it's one of the windows down here. There's a stack of 4 windows. I am missing one of the transparent windows for that. Easy enough. That can get replaced very easy. I'll just reach out to Pantasy and have them send the missing piece for me. It's all good. Lots of detail, as you can see. We got also a couple of really good statues on the very top, as you can see on each corner, basically to mimic some good old gargoyles. We have some gears and stuff like that to help with the decoration, and we got a couple of nice black lampposts. These would be awesome if we can light these up. It would be. Imagine if this building had a lighting kit, honestly. Let me know in the comments, what do you think this would look like with lights on it? This probably would look fantastic. Who knows? Maybe we need to get a lighting kit for this later. Don't know. Going to this side of the building, we have some architecture from where the arcs are and stuff like that. But we have this one little area right here that actually opens up. So this gives you a sneak peek of the dressing room that's in there as well on the second floor. It's a nice little dressing room. We got a nice little desk, whatever, insinuate a mirror. Looks like we have something like a dress or something like that hanging on the edge. We got a couple of bottles and stuff like that. And of course we have a door that enters the actual balcony area. And then we have another door that goes behind the stage itself. But a nice little touch there to open it up and put something in that area. The other side of this is windows and archways, basically. So pretty standard. Got some light, got some natural light coming into the building from these windows as well. We got, like I said, some nice archway and stuff to give some texture, detail to the side of the building. Again, with the opening on the other side and with this side, you may have two buildings on either side. So in your city and stuff like that. So this is probably not gonna do anything for you, and all that. The back. We got lots of detail in the back to insinuate a lot of stuff going on here as well. We have a couple of windows at the bottom as well. I should have switched one of the windows from the back to the front, because the back, nobody's going to see the back when this is up against a wall or something like that, or another modular back here. I should have did that. Something to think about later. Anyways, this actually opens fully up, as you can see. That gives you a full access to the whole second floor of how it looks and everything. Absolutely phenomenal. Looks super, super great. We are going to also zoom in on the second floor. So give me a second. We'll turn this around. We will also pop in the new camera. We will sneak in, and there you have it. Look at all that detail in here. Got a couple of good throne chairs on either side of the walls that do open up. So again, like as I said, these open and close. So you can actually see we have a whole seating structure area in this area. Looks great with the red, the gold, and the black. We have a balcony seating on this side as well, as you can see. And we have lots of gold and textures and stuff like that to give it so much detail. We do have another one on this side as well, with a seating position for a fig to go in that area. We have some vegetation, some plants and stuff like that. We do have some prints inside the building as well there. And down in this section, as you can see, we do have a couple of mural prints and stuff like that. Looks really, really good. The stairwells on either side looks great, but we'll take a look at that when we pop the second floor off. We do have a cello on the stage and a saxophone. That print in the back, that actually slides out. It's actually a piece of cardboard or a piece of thicker paper with a design on one side and a design on this side. So you can actually slide it in and out however you feel. It is purely up to you on which one do you want to use, or you can actually make your own and put your own design in the back if you wish. So that is the second floor in all its glory. And again, we do have a chandelier that's, we've got dangly pieces on the chandelier. As you can see, everything's moving when I shake it. But that is the second floor in all of its beautiful detail. We will just put that over there, close the back up. Now I'm going to take the second floor off so I can show you the main floor. So we just give it a nice little hug here. Actually, it's probably better if I do it from the front. Come on. It's only got like 6 studs. Super clutch today. There we go. Also, you got to be careful. Pull it straight up and then bring it straight down. The only reason for that is because of these little banisters right here. They may get caught on the opening and you may peel them off and stuff like that. So let's take a look at the main floor and all of its detail and stuff. So let's pop this in. Let's get this going. Here we go. There you have it. So look at all that, the stairwell. We have another absolutely fantastic mural print on the side that's got a big giant vase in front of it. We got some flower pots behind the stairwells. The stairwells were a really cool design. I really like them. Very functional, very easy to set up and put in place. And once they're locked in place, they're pretty much there for good. We got a couple of big chandelier type post candlesticks and on stuff. We do have another on this side. We do have a printed piece with a little scribbling of what's going on, and we do have a little mural on that side with a little statue in front of it. Some good architecture around that for the design. We do have the front door, and that comes into the tiling. This front door actually turns, so it's a completely turnable front door. More printed piece for another description of this one. Now, I'm not sure. Leave a comment whether or not we should keep the statue right here in front of this mural, because it completely blocks it completely. Like it's I don't know, aesthetic, it's up to you, but I think we should be moving that somewhere else into the build probably. But anyways, so that is the interior of the first floor. I will give you a little peek of the front as well. So here is the front. Like as I said, we got a nice little banners on that side, and we do have my missing window in the back here. So yeah, we'll get that fixed pretty quickly. And of course we have our revolving door in the front, and we have our basically sidewalk street area, which is very minimal. I don't know if you're going to want to extend this out in your cities and stuff like that, but that is the front with some nice, really good column work. So we got so much good stuff in here. Looks really good. So much detail, like as I mentioned. Holy smokes. To this, we put this back on. And again, you got to watch out for those two little pieces on the top of the stairs. Pop that in place. A little push on that side, a little push on that side, and we are set. So there you have it, completely done. The Opera by Pantasy. I fully think this is a fantastic modular. I think their modulars are just getting better. They haven't released a lot of modulars. There is rumor that there might be another one coming. I'm not 100% sure. I am just keeping my ears perked up to see if anything is coming down the pipe. I am not affiliated with Pantasy, so there is no affiliate link in the description. So if you wish to buy it, go nuts, buy it wherever you can find it, and you can get it with the best price possible. Be careful if it is coming from the States, just with all the stuff that's going on between the States and everybody else. Minifigs, I will put the minifigs in the set in the final little montage you'll see at the end, and so you can see how the minifigs look with the rest of the building and stuff. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being a subscriber. Very easy to hit that subscribe button. Always a pleasure. We're almost at the 1,000 subscriber goal. We should be able to hit that soon. And with all your help, it would be absolutely awesome. Again, a huge shout out to my channel members. Becoming a channel member is very easy. You just have to hit the join button, and then you are going to get access to all my videos early, as well as sneak peek photos of each stage of the builds of everything that I'm working on as we go through. And again, we have some pretty cool emotes for you to use in the chat when we do stream. Until then, like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys.